Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. I got some good news and I got some bad news. I don't know which one you all want me to tell you first. Let me put the phone number up here. We got the phone lines all open. Y'all want you all to give us a call. We got a new line that we're utilizing now. That is 508-924-3521. 528-924-3521. You could give us a call at that number. Again, it's 508-924-3521. Give us a call at that number. We love to hear from you, each and every one of you. We love to hear from you. But as I said, we got some good and some bad news today. Don't know which one you want first, but let me tell you this. Um, the good news is it's a great day. It's a great day, an outstanding day to be with you, to be with each and every one of you. Definitely love each and every one of you without cease. Now, the bad news. This is going to be um, for a minute. Um, if everything goes according to plan, and I'm sure that it will. This is going to be the last Way Out Wednesday live that we have for a while. I'm going back to school. I am actually going back to school, and I'll be taking classes. And my classes will be every Wednesday from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3, and we do the morning glow from 7 o'clock until 10. So if you do the math, that lets you know right there that I can't be at both places at the same time. Taking some more classes, just sharpening up my craft, and this is going to be on the television and TV and movie production side is what I'm taking. Because as you know, we do have a television leg of DKM Media Group, and so my thing is I always want to advance and make sure that I'm bringing forth the best quality that you can definitely have. And when I'm dealing with you all, I want to make sure that I give you all the best that I have in me, and the best that I have in me always can be sharpened a little bit. And so this will be the last live Way Out Wednesday. Now we will be here Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. We will be here for the Morning Glow Monday and Tuesday live, Monday and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday. Every Wednesday will be a rebroadcast. Every Wednesday will be a rebroadcast. And this particular class starts on my anniversary. Starts on my anniversary on the 18th, which is next week. It starts next week. Like I said, again, it goes from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3. Classes are from 9 to 3. We have to be there about 8:30 every morning. Check in and do the things we have to do. Be sitting in class at 9 o'clock. And so your nephew gonna be in class again. I ain't been in the classroom setting in a long time. So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Y'all definitely pray for me and make sure that and I know without a shadow of a doubt, God got me. God got me. He opened up the door. Wasn't supposed to be able to get into this particular class with this course that I'm taking. They say that it's tough to get in because it's in very high demand. And you can imagine here in the Atlanta area, you can imagine why it will be in high demand because the television and film aspect of what's going on in Atlanta is growing like crazy. It really is growing like crazy. And so we will be there. Y'all pray for me, and I would definitely be praying for you throughout that time. And let's just see what happens, man. God is doing some great things. I'm very pleased. I'm high and a happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud. Y'all got to hear me when I say it. I'm gonna say it one more time, just in case y'all missed it. I'm high and a happy, elephant elated, and porcupine proud that God is picking a little country boy like me. I'm a little country boy. I'm just a little country boy. That's all I am. Out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Shout out to Greensboro, North Carolina. But I'm a country boy. I'm country to the heart. I had an opportunity to travel. God has taken me all over different places, and I've been able to witness and view certain things, meet some great people. So it's always amazing. It's always amazing just to walk with him, and talk to him and let him talk right back to you because he'll lead you in the way that you need to go. And so I just wanted to put that bit of information out there, man. The phone number, just in case anybody is wanting to call in, the phone lines are open. The phone number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. That's the phone number that you can actually call in. We would love to have your input. Give me a call. And if you just want to say something to your boy this morning, let me hear from you. Let me hear from you. I definitely, I'm always open. I got an open ear for each and every one of you. Now, topic wise, what we're going to talk about today. I want somebody to explain to me, and I want my sister to call in. I want my brothers to call in as well. But explain to me and explain to my listeners, because there's a lot of things. Cuomo, the mayor, governor, whatever he is, out of New York City, just resigned because of the fact that inappropriate behavior with the opposite sex, inappropriate behavior with the opposite sex. So explain to me, give me a call, help me understand, what is the Me Too movement? What is the Me Too movement? What exactly is that? Help me understand, help my listeners understand what is the Me Too movement, because I know y'all sisters, man, sometimes y'all catch a bad hand, man. Y'all get into in a position like the situation with Cuomo. The young ladies that went there, they didn't go there for him to be doing the things that he was doing to them. He said he didn't do it, but he's resigning. So that kind of leaves it open a little bit. But my thing is, they didn't go there. They went there to do a job. They went there because they wanted to provide for their family, for their livelihood, for themselves, or whoever it is. But they just wanted to work. They went there to the place of business. They went to the place of business, and what happened? He started doing things outside of himself, started inappropriately behaving around them, touching them, and all kind of fondling their body and all kind of things. They didn't sign up for that. If they wanted to date him, they would have probably approached him in that manner. They went there to do a job. They went there because they wanted to work. They went there because they wanted to do what everybody else is doing. They say you go out there, get a job, and provide for your family. That's what they did. But he took advantage of these young ladies. And in him taking advantage of these young ladies, they started coming forward. And then one came forward. Then before you know it, it was 5. Then it was 7. Then it was 11. And a lot of them started coming forward because of how he inappropriately treated them. And he seemed to say, he tried to make it out. I'm one of the old guys. I didn't know no better, brother. You're a grown behind man. You knew you couldn't touch. You know you couldn't touch them ladies like that. You knew you couldn't come in them ladies in that manner. You knew you couldn't. Come on now. To get up here and to try to play with our intelligence and try to make us believe that you didn't know you were doing anything wrong. They wanted you. You sound like Trump. You sound like Trump. They wanted it. They want me. You can just go out there and grab them any kind of way you want to grab them and do what you want to do to them. No, you can't. I got daughters, man. I got daughters. I have 4 daughters. And let one of them come and say, this old man try to fondle me, young man, whoever it is, try to fondle me and do these different things to me. Man, look here. Y'all have problems. Y'all have problems out of me. Y'all have serious problems out of me because you can't do that. These I'm gonna tell you something. These young ladies did not sign up for that at all. So my thing is, help me understand. Help us talk, ladies. I definitely want you all to call in and talk to us men. And help us understand. Because some of us sometimes I like we dumb as a bag of rocks and we don't get it. Think it's okay. It's not okay. It is not okay. And I'm here to tell each and every one of you that it is not okay. You cannot do that. If what he did, I'm gonna tell you something. If what he did, it would have happened to let me see. Remember what you said last night about touching a woman. See, you're gonna do me like that. Okay. That's Dr. Cook. Dr. Cook, I sent you the link. If you're available, either call in, and we got a new call-in number. The new call-in number, just in case you didn't get the link or you can't come on the link. The new call-in number is we got somebody on the line right now. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you call?
Tucson, man.
Tucson. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Look at,
I'm here.
Hey man, look here. We got one going on this morning, and Dr. Cook just threw a jab at me, man. She threw a jab at me. She hit me hard, man. She hit me hard. But, yeah, she hit me hard this morning. I'm trying to get her to call in, and so she probably will in a little bit. She's probably in a situation where she can't right now. But we're talking about Governor Cuomo, whatever his name is. The gentleman out of Oh no! I thought no. I looked at the thing. That was Rico. That was Rico that threw that jab at me just now. Okay, Rico hit me up. Rico done gut punched me. Okay, Dr. Cook, I called. I said it was you. Okay, no, that was Rico that gut punched me. Rico, you got to call in, brother. You can't. We brothers, man. We got to stick together, man. How you gonna gut punch me like that? How you gonna gut punch me like that, man? On live radio in front of all these people. Lord, my Jesus. But to something we're talking about Governor Cuomo, and he's resigning now, and he's saying that he didn't know that he did anything wrong. He's an old guy. He didn't get it. Man, he touching these women inappropriately, man, fondling them, doing the same thing that Trump said he could do. Grab them in the cha-cha, and they like it. Man, they don't like it. They don't like it. And like I said earlier, I have four. I was going to say five. Lord, I got another daughter from somewhere. I got four daughters, and I got two granddaughters. Man, you let any one of them come and be told me somebody done found them or did. They went to work and somebody tried to do this. It's gonna be a situation. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. So my thing is, man, what is the Me Too movement, and why do some individuals think it's okay to do these things to these women and think they should be able to get away with it? Why?
Well,
come on, Tucson. You about to
go again.
You about to hit me? Yes, sir.
No. Say it again.
I say yes, sir. You about to hit us down. Go ahead, brother. Do what you do.
No, I'm just saying that we have these politicians that think they're above, and not only politicians, not just say politicians.
Mm-hmm.
We have people in position that because of their position,
mm-hmm.
they manipulate and go above and beyond what they should be doing and get caught.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes one steps out and makes the allegation, and it's hard for them to stand alone and say this man did this man or woman did this to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then others come forward and say, you know what? It happened to me too.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because that's the same situation that happened. That's the same situation that happened with Bill.
Credible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they blowed that one off. Mm-hmm. If that's what you were talking about when they was talking about the other fellow.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the Cuomo?
Well, Cuomo, that's what happened with him. But that happened to other politicians and other leaders.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, they think they're slick.
Yeah.
Here's a person comes looking for a job, try to better themselves in society.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, well, if you really want the job, that's how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want the job, what is it? Something
quid pro quo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's you can't do that. But see, they catch one, and then the other one, that one don't say nothing because it helps them personally where they want to be. Some of them good. Some of them are good with it, unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people, they get where they're going
on their back.
Have arrived
on their back. They take that. Yeah, they take their journey on their back.
I didn't want to say that.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
At a particular workplace, there was this VP, and he actually, I think the security guard did like the woman that was brought to Jesus, caught in the very act, on the job. And it's surprising how what companies do. They give them servants pay and let them retire. But the lady that had gained position, they had to let them both go with servant pay, and they was way up in the company. But it happens every day, man. What I'm saying is, it happens every day.
Exactly.
But some people don't say nothing because they fear being retaliated against. So the Me Too movement is when other women that have been quiet finally comes up and say, you know what, he did that to me too.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to hear from some of the sisters out there. Sisters, give us a call, because I know, and there are some elements out there that would try and take advantage or try to do the different things, advance, if you will, on their backs. We've been very PG with how we're saying this thing. They would try to advance on their back. There's some individuals that would do that, and try and move forward in that matter. But I think there's a larger element out there of ladies that just want to have the right opportunity to do the things the way that it should be done. Go and be in a work environment and be comfortable. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, Grand Rising, man. How everybody doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, brother. What do you say about this, man? And I saw that gut punch you threw me just now, man. You threw me a little gut punch, but you hit me hard, brother. You hit me hard. But what's on your heart about this whole situation with this Cuomo, Governor Cuomo, man, with him resigning, saying that he didn't know any better? Rico, it's hard for me to believe that this man of this age didn't know any better, didn't know what he was doing was inappropriate.
It's possible, though. I mean, I don't know why every time I saw that man, he put me in the mind of Pepe Le Pew. And you know, Pepe Le Pew got canceled last year.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so, you know, it could be something that he didn't know any better, because he comes from an era where that was cool. You know, last night we was talking about being assertive, and then I came in and I said, you know, you got to learn how not to blur the line between assertive and aggressive.
Yeah.
See, women like an assertive guy, and men know women like an assertive guy. Sometimes those assertive guys like to beat up and bully other guys to prove just how assertive they are, because they think they got to be aggressive to show that they'll stand up and take care of business. And so, you know, at the same time, they might be a little rough with the women, like Pepe Le Pew, just adamant, persistent. Come here, let me kiss on your jaw. Let me violate your space.
Yeah.
Let me just prove to you how much I want you. And you saw on the cartoon with Pepe Le Pew, man, that cat would be fighting.
Yep.
And he just would not give up. And you know, that's supposed to be a quality of a man. Don't ever give up. Keep pushing. If you see something you want, you go after it. So now that's the mentality that goes along with it. And when it was acceptable, a lot of women, they did find out that they had to submit. They couldn't be like that cat. They had to submit, because they might get blackballed. They might not get a job. They don't like to cooperate. They don't like to play fair.
They're not a team player.
Society created an atmosphere for dominant people to utilize and manipulate, like Donna said a second ago, to manipulate people that are trying to get in the same position or get just benefit from the position that dominant person is in. So they start throwing their wheel around, throwing their desires around. Well, look, this is what I want you to do. Come out to dinner with me. Come out to eat with me and my wife. It's hard for you to turn down your boss, man, because you don't want to be retaliated against. So Me Too, like Donald said, Me Too was actually put in place to give people a life raft that has been susceptible to that atmosphere that has existed for decades, for centuries. It has existed. You know, if you think about it, in the slave trade, or back in the day when, you know, slavery was going on, I'm pretty sure a lot of defiant black women had to be coaxed with bribery. You know, just go on and cooperate. Go on and give me a little bit. Be nice now. Come on, girl. If you let me, I'll let you do this, I'll let you do that. And before you know it, she starts thinking about the finer things, the access and exposure to all the things that's not at her hand, and she started compromising. She don't feel good about it when she go home. You know what I'm saying? But after a while, you start accepting, well, you know what? You might have to sleep with the boss to get ahead. So now it's a common practice, even in Hollywood. The casting couch is accepted till this day because this has been a common practice. Well, Me Too said enough.
Yeah.
They said enough. So that's why I said that last night when you said that about the touching a woman's elbow. Nowadays, invading a woman's space and touching her will get you in trouble with Me Too.
Yes, sir.
And you didn't really mean nothing by it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's actually an atmosphere that was created by chauvinist males. So
exactly.
now the chickens are coming home to roost.
Mm-hmm. And see, and that's the whole thing right there, man, because what we was talking about last night was what is a man, and that's some of the things that my uncles instilled in me. They say do it this way, trying to teach me, and like y'all said last night, trying to teach me what it is to be a man. But at the same time, what they really teach me how to be a man, because in what they was talking to me about, or trying to bestow upon me, was disrespectful. Was very disrespectful for the women. Ladies, give us a call. Give us a call. We want some of the ladies to call in as well. The phone number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you as well. And explain to us what the Me Too movement is. Explain to us exactly what the Me Too movement is, and what does it mean to you? Is it something that's just a sign of the times? And is it more or less a sign of the time, and how things used to be is not going to be anymore? Y'all are not going to be disrespected. Y'all are going to be able to work in a nice and safe, comfortable work environment where you don't have to be harassed or negotiated, and you don't have to negotiate parts of your anatomy to get a position. Donald Tucson, talk to me, brother. Tucson, you there?
You know, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, we live in a society that the corruption goes further than we know it, because, okay, just for instance, if it's brought to justice, okay, because it's crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, more deals are met on the golf course than in the courtroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because these folks, they boat and fish together.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come to court, you find what you don't find out is that the prosecutor, the judge, and the defense attorney, they all fish together or hunt together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they while they fishing, hunting, or at the golf course, they talk about that, and you don't know it.
Mm.
So they pat each other on the hand, and they make the female look bad,
Mm-hmm.
and they say she asked for it.
Wow. But in all actuality, she didn't.
So, right, and so the next person that knows, just keep quiet till they can't keep quiet no more.
Mm-hmm.
But the corruption is normal, especially in this society we live in. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you not only women have to work. You know, they got some men that have to have the same concern, and then not only that, these young men that's trying to get into politics or whatever, and it's just me thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because some of these politicians like little boys.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they do. And my thing is, I would love for some of our sisters to call in, man, because us as men, we cannot. I don't think, and it's just me thinking out loud. I don't think we can speak for the women. They're very equipped and able to speak for themselves. I don't think as a man we can speak. We can say from what our experiences and what we saw. But we definitely cannot speak for a woman. We can't do that. That's why I encourage some of our sisters to call in as well. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. Raheem in the morning, little family.
Good morning, Captain Leonard.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing fine.
Good deal. Good deal. Leonard, we're talking about Governor Cuomo. He actually resigned. He effective in 2 weeks. He gave his resignation letter and everything. Did his little speech, and in the course of that, he was saying he didn't realize he was doing anything wrong, and just didn't own up to anything. But these ladies has come forward and say that he inappropriately touched them and groped them and did all these different things to him. Leonard, these ladies did not sign up for that. And I'm asking this question: what is the Me Too movement, and how effective is it today? Because I got 4 daughters, and you already know that I got 4 daughters, man, 2 granddaughters. I would not want to have any one of them to go through any situation. They go to work, and not have the other things. I'm being kind. Things happen to them. Leonard, what's on your heart?
You were talking about, you had mentioned the Cuomo situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I don't really know the details of that situation. I'm more concerned about why he resigned if he didn't do anything wrong.
Yes.
That's my biggest issue, because I believe he should have went to court about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is he supposedly had done.
Mm-hmm.
But one, I am always leery when both sides are not presented.
Mm-hmm.
So saying that he did something and him actually doing something to me is 2 different things. We're talking about a criminal offense. A criminal offense should not be avoidable by you resigning from the job.
Mm-hmm.
So if something actually happened, it needs to be decided criminally, not by word of mouth, not by opinion or suggestion.
So, Leonard, am I hearing you say that and it has happened in some situations, if a person resigns, they won't be held accountable in the courts for what they did? Am I hearing you say that?
That may have something to do with it, because usually these people are presented with some type of deal to evade prosecution.
Wow.
And this is why I don't trust anybody on any side of these situations. Because it's not what he didn't know, and he definitely knew better.
Yes, he
if
knew
he
better.
did anything,
yes,
he knew better.
Absolutely.
However, you also have to bring in the situation on what is the relationship with these accusers. Because you have people carrying on the way they want to carry on, and then when something goes right, now people are being charged with harassment. Because I don't know anybody or any woman that lets you walk up to them and grab them between their legs and they don't say anything. That's evident. It just happened.
But see, the thing about it, the thing about it, a lot of time, a lot of women for a long time, and again, I can't speak for women, but I'm just saying for what I think, and this is basically what I think. Has no proof or anything to it, but I think a lot of times when a situation like that happens, it's in the workplace. The woman, she's kind of leery with coming forward because she think that is okay. Now is my word against his. How do I go against this big bad wolf? I'm just a little sheep over here in the corner. How do I go against this big bad wolf and let people know and understand that this did happen? How do I say that? Because he's going to deny it.
Like I said, that's your issue as the person that it has happened to. You have a right to do whatever it is you want to do. Now, I know people that carry on at the job and they shouldn't be carrying on in a certain way. And I can also say, if it's not unheard of for these people to be carrying on relationships outside of the job. Man, how many times have I taken you out to the boat and everything was just fine? Or I've taken you on a trip with me, on a business trip with me. I was accused of sexual harassment before. I didn't even know who the person was. I didn't know what happened or anything. So you know what I did? No, I didn't sit there and woe is me. No, I started whooping tail. You understand? If anybody got anything to say, you better speak up right now, because what you did was unfair and it was untrue. And I'm going to settle it right now with you. But what we not going to do is let you besmirch my reputation just because you want to. Just because you have a reason that you think is valid to say what you said. And that's what the court is for us all to put it out on the table. So him resigning worries me the fact that, what you mean you didn't know what you did?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that you do not want to go to trial because you will be found guilty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with helping young men with anything, or anybody that used to come to me for help, I used to let them, I don't help people who take pleas.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you took a plea, that almost means that means you're guilty.
Admission of guilt. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. You're admitting guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't help you that way if you are guilty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
so
good.
We have to understand that what TV shows you is one thing. The facts of the matter are another thing. Mm-hmm. Cuomo was an elected official.
Yes.
Official.
Mm-hmm.
Duly elected by the people.
Yes, sir.
He needs to be tried in a court of law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because all it seems like is that someone just didn't want him to be governor no more.
Mm-hmm. And so they concocted it, and I'm just saying that I don't know the factual, concocted a story against him, and he fell victim to it, because he had another little story about him not too long ago about the what's going on with the COVID situation. But Rico, what's on your heart? What do you say? Can you understand what I'm saying when I say sometimes a lady feels like she's vulnerable, that I'm just a little sheep going against this big bad wolf? You know, he's gonna deny it. So how do I win? And so they don't come forward.
I mean, that's what I said a second ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first time around, when you get in a position of power, and then you got the opportunity to provide for somebody else to survival or livelihood,
mm-hmm.
man, people would do anything to get in those positions so they could eat off you.
Yes.
And they may conform and put up with a whole lot of ignorance, a whole lot of abuse, mistreatment.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want to quit their job. I mean, listen, we know people every day that see stuff going on wrong. They ain't gonna say nothing because they don't want to lose their job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got people that flew airplanes across the borders, overseas, to other countries with little girls to get screwed. They didn't say nothing though, because why? They were flying airplanes for elite people. They paid very well. So, you know, that was an atmosphere, like I said earlier, that was an atmosphere created where dominant white males felt like that was what a man was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And women had to conform because they wanted to get a piece of the pie. Now Me Too is saying no. At the very beginning, they're giving women an opportunity to say no from the start. But some of these men, they may not realize they were doing wrong because they're so accustomed. You ever heard a white person say, "I ain't racist, that's just the way it always been"?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's what men say sometimes. I ain't chauvinist. That's just the way it's always been. Because we've been poisoned with a false program about men being dominant in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know where to draw the line. The line got blurred on being the male and the head of the family, and then being a dictator and abuser and a rapist.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody blurred the line. Man just got right to do what man want to do. And if you're powerful and you got money, you just got the right. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay to play.
Mm-hmm.
Money talks, BS walks. You know what I'm saying? We hear it all the time, and we condone and conform to it. So now the situation is turned to where people ain't putting up with it no more. But see, you got to still always be mindful of the fact that somebody, like Leonard said, somebody might just be trying to get him out of position and tarnish his reputation, because New York is such an important state, politics-wise.
Yes.
It's so important. So, you know, you go back and you think about Deshaun Watson, the NFL football player. All these accusations he had, now they are all quiet again.
Mm-hmm.
He was sounding like a serial rapist for us. I mean, he was really sounding like a sick pervert, just exposing himself to women. Here you are, super rich, mega athlete. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you known across the country, but you just sick-minded. You just whipping your stuff out on people and surprising them. Hey, surprise!
Mm-hmm.
You're a random massage parlor. You visiting random massage parlors, a serial massage parlor visitor. And then you got a surprise for the women. You turn over, I got something for you. Come on, man. Now all of a sudden it's quiet.
Yeah.
He's back with the team now. He don't want to get traded no more. He's shutting his mouth. So sometimes you got to realize, man, that, you know, it's an entire different level of life out there where people will manipulate a system. They'll manipulate them bodies and they'll cute. Look at Mike Tyson. He didn't want to walk the woman out to the car. So what happened? He ended up doing prison time. So, you know, that is also something that you have to be leery of, in the fact that some people might utilize Me Too to promote their agenda, because they're playing political games or they're playing favor games. They're trying to use pressure to get somebody to conform to what they want to do. And they got just enough women to go along with it because they are more powerful than Deshaun Watson. They own the team. So there's plenty of women against it. And we all know you could get people to pretty much do anything for $1 and some access.
Yeah. And manipulation, Leonard, and Rico put it out there. Manipulation a lot of times is all based on manipulation and people trying to manipulate you in a way, like Deshaun Watson. I don't know what happened with that situation. I'm just in my mind. I'm coming up with something. The team that he was with, because he wanted to leave them, and all this stuff started coming to the forefront. All of a sudden, all this stuff started coming out. How do I not know that they had a meeting inside the office? Said, look here, Deshaun, stop all this trade talk. Stop all this stuff you're thinking about doing. Stop thinking about leaving here. Go ahead and sign with us. Stay right here. Stay with the team. Play like you've been playing, and we'll make all this other stuff go away. We'll make it go away like it never happened. And a lot of time a person will fall to that pressure because, you know, they say to him, either you're going to do one or two things. You're going to play here or you're going to prison. Which one you want to do? Leonard, that happened.
And, you know, I don't even know why people act like it don't happen.
Yeah.
There are people that get paid. So whenever someone wants to take you down, to find whether if you're married, they try to find out if you got a girlfriend. They're always looking for something to use as leverage against you. Especially when someone desires what you have.
Come on.
So men need to protect themselves and women need to protect themselves as well. But from a managerial point, and I've had a woman come to me and try to insinuate that some man was harassing her on the job, right? So I said, well, tell me what happened. Well, I just feel like he wants me.
Good Lord.
That's what she said.
Okay.
I just feel like he wants me. So you want me to go out here and follow this route, follow this whole line with this man in discipline because you think he wants you.
Wow.
That's not valid.
No.
To do. And I think that we have to quit taking people's words for things and put them in a situation like a trial. No one should be able to evade actual criminal activity. If somebody pull out, if these women talk about, I didn't want to make no noise, but if somebody pull out in front of you at the grocery store, you're going to be laying on your horn like somebody shot you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But somebody put their hand in your private parts and you don't say nothing.
Doesn't sound right.
Grow up.
Doesn't sound right. We have another caller. Oh. We have another caller from the 903 area code. 903 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from? I'm sorry.
It's Badger.
Badger. What's up, man?
Good morning, Badger.
Look at that. Look at that. What's going on, fella? How doing this morning?
I was listening in on this one and went, oh, I got a call.
What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Just the whole concept, you know, and also was listening to, I think you were talking about a football player?
Yeah.
That was getting his name spoiled or something like that?
Watson,
Like, that's been going on. That kind of stuff's been going on for years. I mean, think about back in many years ago, senators getting caught with mail order people and women and, you know, teenagers and things like that. And the funny part is they'll get caught.
all this evidence shows up and stuff, and then sometimes they lose their jobs and their positions, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that's another reason I don't really trust politicians.
Mm-hmm. See, and a lot of times, like we said, they'll manipulate. Like, and I don't know that this happened with Watson. I don't know. I'm just in my mind, something in my mind. But sometimes they'll say stuff like, if you go ahead on and do what we want you to do, sign with the team, play like you've been playing, we'll make all this other stuff go away. Now you got a choice. You can either go to prison or you can sign with us and we'll make it go away. Which one do you want to do? Badger, that's manipulation right there.
Well, yeah. The only thing is, can he prove it?
Mm-hmm.
If it did happen, how would he prove it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And if he does that, would he ever be able to play football again?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because then he's high risk.
Wow. Yeah, he is. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. It's a lot tied up in this thing here, man. This whole manipulation thing and how that workplace could be deadly, man. It could be deadly. Talk to me, Rico.
It could be suicidal too. What's going on with you, Badger?
Hey, Rico.
Hey, that could be a suicidal position, man. They could have put that man in a situation where he went to popping pills because he was in fear of his life. Like, this is what I was thinking. Somebody got a lot of power, because if it isn't true, they manipulated it and made a situation happen that actually could have cost him his freedom.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If it is true, they pulled strings and they made the story die down.
Mm-hmm.
Because now just think about it, all those accusations that were made, you're not hearing anything out of that story again.
Yeah.
So if those women were actually going through that and they were that offended or violated and traumatized, now all of a sudden it's stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't hearing nothing no more. And in the news, a few people even remember it happened.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So now somebody got a lot of power if he did turn out to be that sick-minded individual going from massage parlor to massage parlor, flipping over on women.
Mm-hmm.
If he was that person, somebody they done covered it up for him. Now they done started a cover-up story.
Exactly.
Brett Favre did it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He did it in Minnesota.
The Patriots did it.
I was gonna bring that up. The owner of the Patriots.
Yep.
He did it.
Mm-hmm.
His story swept completely under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
He just walking around living his best life, but he got rounded up with a lot of people. Those other people, they didn't get their charges thrown away though.
Exactly.
They didn't get anything suppressed. And so it's two sides of the coin. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to flip this around and make it seem like these women lying about Me Too or whatever, because there are a lot of situations where it is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking about Carolyn Bryant.
Yeah, exactly.
She screamed Me Too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all know who Carolyn Bryant is.
That name sounds familiar.
But later, after she screamed, I
said that name sounds familiar to me. It does. The name rings a bell. I don't know who. I can't.
She screamed Me Too a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And got a little boy named Emmett Till killed, and now she's saying it wasn't true.
Wow, there you go. Rico, you know what's amazing
with
this
sometimes people cry wolf.
Mm-hmm. Rico, let me throw this at you real quick. You know what's amazing, man, with this whole situation with Watson? The timing of it all. Now that the NFL football season is about to start, it's looking a little shaky to me. Everything is going away now. We're about to have another season, so we don't need to deal with that right now. Rico, that's kind of suspect. What do you say?
Yes, it is. And so, like I said, somebody in a powerful position, they pulling all kind of strings. They done made a whole story go away. Mm-hmm. They picked up so much steam that you almost thought that Deshaun was about to go to prison in less than a week.
Yep. Yes, sir. Absolutely. We got a couple of callers here. We got one call. We got two callers just called in. One from the 40. I think this is my brother Pete, and I think we also have Curtis. So I'm gonna get to Curtis as well. But Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Good morning to you. How you doing this morning?
How y'all doing this morning? I wasn't able to listen in, so I'm not sure what the topic is. But how's the DKM panel and listening audience doing?
Doing good, brother. What we're talking about? We're talking about the whole Me Too movement with this Chroma situation. With the Chroma situation, man, he's resigning. He's saying that and it's kind of suspect and everything, but he's resigning, and everything probably go away. And we're also talking about with Deshaun Watson, how he had all the allegations against him, And now, because of the fact that the football season is about to start, and it looked kind of suspect how everything is going away. But I said, and I don't have anything to back this up. I don't know if this actually happened or not. But I said that he could have gone into the office because he wanted to be traded. He could have gone into the office and they say, look here, let me tell you this one, you got one or two options. Either go to prison or sign with us, stop all this trade talk, sign with us, and we'll make all the allegations against you go away. The workplace could be very toxic. Pete, what do you say to that?
Again, what we see here is the blossoming, the blooming, the peaking of corruption. And again, some of these issues can be, frivolous. People can throw things up. You a poor man, you a player, you got 39 children by 38 different women, and pretty much nobody cares. But you mess around and become a multi-millionaire, and all of a sudden you breaking news. Okay. So this is the arena that you will find yourself in potentially, and certainly in a society like this. I remember in the 80s, I believe it was the middle 80s, 83, 4, 5, maybe around 87, somewhere in there. There was a big scandal up on Capitol Hill of the congressmen and senators who were sleeping, male congressmen and senators who were sleeping with male runners, the teenagers who go up there every year, are interns, learning the process and helping out. And it was a big, major scandal that this is what was going on. And here we are 30, 40 years later. Same thing. Same thing. This is what has been going on the whole time. It's the blossoming of the wickedness, the corruption of man's heart, and being privy to conceal your dirty deeds in the light. And now the light is being unblocked, and it's being revealed. This is nothing new. It's been going on the whole time. It's prostitution on the corner.
Wow.
It's a massage in the building. And it's just considered everyday business if you're wealthy. Wealthy people, individuals are known to have a term called a nooner. A nooner is where the respective female comes in at noon to give the male full service every day. Well known. Let me see. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Now again, we have to take consideration of the lies and those type of things that people do, and they will do those. But this is nothing new. It's been going on the whole time. That's what I have to say about that.
Wow. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Hey, doing good, Kurt. What's on your heart, brother? There's a lot going on, man, with this whole Chroma situation and everything else that's going on with the workplace could be vicious, Curtis. The workplace could be vicious. And people go to work to supposedly to make a living, to provide, but they could get caught up in some mess, man. What's on your heart?
Man, listen here. I've been saying it for a while. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You know what I mean? But all at the same time, it's funny how there's an expectation for one side. Every time one particular side, I choose not to say who it is, y'all can fill it in. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to this, but it's a part of the playbook. When one side has lost all wit and or control, or it looks like they're going to be doomed to lose, the first thing they do, one of the first things they do is all of a sudden there's this big Democratic sex scandal, right? It happens every time. What bothers me is, okay, we talking about Cuomo, right?
Yes.
We ain't mentioned the 30 plus women that's saying the same thing. If you notice, them Republican outlets and media organizations and this, that, and the third, they ain't mentioned not one time this kind of outrage when 30 plus women came out against Orange Face. 30 plus women now, some of which, and I know you got daughters, brother, so this gonna strike home. Some of which was 13 years old. You see what I'm saying? Oh, where was the outrage when you had all these photos and videos of this dude partying with what was known as the New York City pedophile? And he partying with them like they best friends. What was all that outrage, man? You know, I don't want to discredit any woman's trauma, because to be sexually assaulted, sexually abused, or sexually mistreated, to be harassed is a shame. But Brother Rico, right, man? Like, there's two sides. You know, y'all look at it every day. The boys show up to practice every year. Y'all got a cornerback down there in Atlanta that spent, I think, 7 years in prison. 7 years in prison behind a girl who said that he raped her in college. And then, all of a sudden, you know, she had an epiphany. And then she told the authorities that she made the whole thing up. Well, this man been locked up for 7 years. So I'm not going to discredit the women. My wife and I was looking at the news this morning, and they show one of the females speaking about the one that say he reached inside her blouse and grabbed her breast or whatever, right? Well, they showed a selfie picture that they took together. He's sitting down on a couch. She said, I'm just saying, man, I ain't never been able to sit with my boss like that. And I ain't never felt that comfortable to sit with my boss like that. On no selfie, no picture, no nothing. My wife said the same thing. I'm not sitting with my boss like that. But the picture says 1,000 words. If you look at that picture, it says something to the effect of there was something going on, consensual. You know what I mean? Like it you know, when the faces get too close, you don't take a picture with your boss with, you know, your face and his face or her face is inches apart. So I don't know what to believe. What I do know to believe is, and we know this from experience right here, you know, there's a senator, they call her Lady G. When Brother Pete was talking about the 80s, he's talking about, I can tell you exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about the mid to late 80s, when all of them Republican congressmen and senators got fronted and got put on blast. And most of them, all of the Republican senators that was after Bill for the Monica Lewinsky scandal, every single one of them was kicked out of office. Guess why? Because they had their own sex scandal going on while they was prosecuting Bill.
Wow.
You know, Newt Gingrich, you got a daughter. I'll end it with this, bro. Newt Gingrich, he had a sex scandal going on that was so strong. The whole while, he prosecuting Bill Clinton for his scandal, right? Do you know this man had the mitigated gall to show up to his wife in the hospital after having major emergency surgery, almost dying. And you know what he did? He handed her divorce paperwork.
Wow.
So that go to show you about their moral compass. If it happened, it happened. And Cuomo should have known better. But all at the same time, Raheem, this thing sound like a hit job.
Good deal. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya, good morning. How you doing this morning, young lady? How you doing this morning?
Hello. How you doing?
Doing well. What do you think about this whole situation, man? There's a lot going on, man. And the workplace can absolutely be deadly. It could be deadly. With all the stuff that's going on with the Cuomo and all the other back office deals that's happening. What do you say to that? And one of the things I wanted to talk, and I'm glad you called in because I wanted some of the sisters to call in and speak about the Me Too movement. What exactly does that mean to you, Toya?
The Me Too movement.
Yes.
Well, that movement, that's like a collective for all the women that it happened to. You know, I've come from that lifestyle, being molested, going through all that. Several times in my life, I've had an encounter with that, and I will say that it's a part of a culture. That stigma that we have from a long time ago with women being property and women being Jezebels, that's kind of a part of a culture because we are taught to get someone to take care of us and we're not taught to get someone to love us. So we have this thing, us women, like that's kind of like what we do, part of a culture. Like when you're in school, you get smacked on the butt because they kind of teach boys to kind of do that, and you kind of don't pay attention, even though it's a violation, right? But it isn't until I knock his teeth down his throat that people be like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" But we're not talking about the fact that he smacked me on my butt. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of a culture. And that's where this movement is coming from, because some women are like, no, you don't get to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, enough is enough already. And it's culture 9 times out of 10 is encouraged and influenced from the household, because that's just like some women will be like, well, boys will be boys. You know what I'm saying? So that movement is really trying to break away from that and put some kind of standard when it comes to dealing with us. Whether I'm your wife, you can't force me to have sex with you, and not for nothing, being a woman, I know none of you guys are probably guilty of this, but you'd be surprised how you get to somebody's house and you got to fight with them before you leave out the house. Like it's amazing. You sit down and they gonna say, "Well, it's 11 o'clock. You want to do it." Now they forcing the kiss and forcing to do all that, and you gotta struggle with a cat on your way out the house, man. That's what the Me Too movement is for. Because when you on the outside looking in, you have no idea what's going through somebody's mind when they're in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It could look consensual. For years, I smiled and act like my uncle didn't do what he did to me. I know to this day, people probably like, yeah, that couldn't be true because she on me. She not angry with him. She not this. She not that. No, when I caught that cat in the corner at 19 and told him I'm gonna murder him, that was that. And after that, I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't harbor that energy. But I know people are looking at it like that couldn't have happened. Look how she treat him. Look how they act. Look how they do this, that, and the third. But I'm over it. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's not your child, if it's not you, mind your business, because you've never been there. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea what people got to do. People be having jobs, and you don't come do this, then I'm gonna take your job. And even with the athletes, let's not act like we don't know they set these cats up. When you don't do what they want you to do, then here they come, sending somebody over there to be a little extra, a female. So there are so many scenarios that come to some of these things that we're watching that we got to be careful. And even with Cuomo, I'm from New York. I know Cuomo's a scumbag. I know Pataki's a scumbag. I know Bloomberg's a scumbag. Right along with Donald Trump, they scumbags of a feather, and they all flock together. So it's really about time that Cuomo sat down, because this is the culture of New York. This is what they do. He's Italian. This is what they do with women, just like what Trump said. Oh, I think they're cute. I just grab them by the cootie cat. Like that's their, that world comes with some of that. That world comes with women sometimes throwing themselves at you and things of that nature, looking for an opportunity. But again, that's culture. They kind of teach women, you know what I'm saying, to be groupies, to look for the man who's going to take care of you. And I think that's where that stems from, man. But no, society, American society, we have a lot to learn about abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. Like, there are steps to this, and there are things that kind of put women in situations, whether it be for the need of a job or, you just never know. And I think that we should be very, very careful. There are a lot of instances where some women lie. And I believe even that's an encouragement. But certain situations, whether it's a lie or not, just like a murder, certain things you just can't touch because you just don't know the inside background. And unfortunately, it's very hard for a lot of people to be honest about sexual assault. Because what people doing just now, people say all the time, Toya, oh, you sure that's true? Because you don't treat him like he molested you. Well, you didn't do nothing anyway either. So mind your business. I'm just showing him respect because, like I said, I handled that 20 years ago. I'm not going to still be walking around trying to poke and soak the man when I already told him, just don't let it happen no more. Don't let me hear about it, because if you do, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be real careful when we looking at situations and we just don't know why the person is acting differently than what you think they should act.
Good deal. Good deal. And let me put it out there. You know, we're gonna stay to our 3-minute rule. We're gonna stay to our 3-minute rule. So we want to keep. We got quite a few people on the line. So I want to make sure that everybody have an opportunity to talk. So let's stay within the 3-minute platform when you answer. Let's stay within that that little radius if we can. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Is it unfortunate? Is it unfortunate that in this society that we're living in right now that we have to have a Me Too movement? Is it unfortunate?
It's unfortunate to have anything to address issues of situations that shouldn't occur in the first place. I mean, it should be obvious to any living being not to offend another being, and certainly intrude on their person to a magnitude of molesting them and, you know, going all up in their personal person and offending them. That's a major infraction. Taking advantage of somebody in that matter. Of the child, I don't know how you even do something like that. Something is wrong, and that fully merits you to get your head cut off. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's just, it's intolerable. Okay. And to my dear sister, I certainly want to clear what I'm saying. I'm not diminishing the reality of this at all. I know that these things happen, and these are horrible situations. So I certainly don't want to come off like we're denying that this happens. It happens. It happens more than we care to know. We don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's horrible. The things that go on with molestation and things like that. It's horrible.
Yes.
And you're destroying lives. So no, yes. I mean, yes, it's horrible that we have to have this conversation or organization to address it. Are you serious? You are going up in a person. You are doing something, touching them, penetrating them. You're making them do things to you. What is that? I mean, what is that? That's not even something that should be even considered or tolerated at all. I mean, do we just walk down the street and grab people? Females, just because they're females and they're beautiful and they're sexy and they have these attractive parts that we like as men. Look, they're not pieces of meat.
Exactly.
Even if they think they're a piece of meat, they're not a piece of meat. That's a mind and a spirit. That's a flesh and blood being that we should come to know and understand and, you know, deal with from that standpoint, and then let the outer reinforce the inner. We just look at the outer and lose our mind. Brother, look here. That's I have a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, and nieces, and great nieces. Man, there will be no mercy.
Wow, that's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was gonna make a joke talking about, you know, corruption and things like that. You know, how Manning keeps winning all these Super Bowls. Well, no, I mean, that stuff's been going on for hundreds of years. It's just people are finally, you know, there's been movements off and on through the hundreds of years, thousands of years against certain things. So to me, this is just history repeating itself. People are getting fed up with the current state of things, and people are starting to group together to change it. And hopefully it doesn't, once things start actually work themselves out and fix themselves, you know, it doesn't cycle again and go back to it happening all over again. You know, hopefully it will be the proper movement forward.
That's good. That's good. Rico, you there?
Yeah, I'm right there.
Okay, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Toussaint, come to you next.
Man, you know what, man? Everybody said something that I wanted to say. I didn't want to take over my 3 minutes though bringing it up, man. I want to bring up the congressional scandal. Man, I want to bring up all that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring up another scandal that came up after that with the interns. They had another one came up after that. Got swept under the rug. And it was with the DC madam. And the DC madam, you know, they was coming out, man. She gonna release this black book, man. These people, they were about to be in trouble. And she had no reason to kill herself, but all of a sudden she ended up dead.
Mm-hmm.
She hanged herself. She had all these congressmen and politicians on this black book, man, that was hooking up with her call girl. High cost. You know, that she was upscale with it. These were very well educated women that were selling their bodies to these politicians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so I bring it up to say that sometimes women conform to these powerful men because they have fallen into that old mindset of submission. But there's a blurred line with submission. See, sometimes a woman needs to cooperate, but she don't need to cooperate to let you abuse or mistreat her. But sometimes men use that. I go back and I think about a story my grandmother told me when she was about 14 or 15 years old working for these white people. This white man raped her. Just took advantage of her out the blue, blindsided her. Didn't care how she felt about it and told her that it wasn't no use in her saying that. Wasn't nobody going to believe her and wasn't nobody going to do nothing about it. So she dealt with this up until her older years. So I ended up hearing about it from her own mouth when I was about 15 or 16. Did something to me. So, you know, I realize now that Me Too should have existed a long time ago. You know, you asked the question, you know, how crazy is it? And I look at it the same way. It's crazy that on planet Earth, that human beings have to even have human rights organizations.
Mm-hmm.
That goes to show you that some kind of system exists that makes privilege and entitlement the exception. So now you think about Jeff Epstein. Jeff Epstein was committing illegal acts. He had accomplices, he had pilots, he had people that worked all around him. They saw these little topless young girls in the lap kissing and tonguing these old rich creeps.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what he was doing? He was making tapes of these men to use against them. Like he wasn't doing nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then guess what the big kicker was? Like I said, with this submitting and conforming. That was one influence that made these little girls even become affiliated with Jeff Epstein. And it was the $500 he had to throw around to all of them. They wanted that money.
Mm-hmm.
That money and that power, man, I'm telling you, man, it'll make people ignore human rights. It'll make people ignore their own human rights. Oh, ain't nothing wrong. He's old and creepy. But all you got to do is give him a massage.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll give you some money. So, you know, it becomes a point in time where Me Too maybe, or some of these human rights organizations may be manipulated by the rich and powerful, when actually it should be used against them, because it came back and backfired against Jeff Epstein. He is recording people and collecting evidence about their illegal activities, and he's the instigator. He's the what they call the mad scientist, the mastermind behind it. He's the biggest perpetrator. But he was going to utilize the illegalities of them messing with them young underage girls against them as leverage to have some type of power or control in another aspect. But in the process, he got caught doing the same thing. So yeah, that's the reason why human rights organizations even exist. And it's a shame. It's a shame that on Earth we even have to have human rights organizations. But that shows you how dysfunctional we are living. So now we need a Me Too. Because now the little girls that took the $500 to fly all the way to England to be with these sick people, they needed a voice. They didn't plan to go over there and get stranded on an island and risk swimming and drowning to get away because they just got raped and manipulated.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, Me Too is necessary. You know, like I said, you got the DC Madam scandal. You know what I'm saying? These people have been doing this for centuries. It's about the powerful. It's about the entitled people, the privileged people, just abusing human rights. And so now we have to put organizations in place just to save or protect the average person.
Exactly. That. Wow. And see, that's what's unfortunate right there, man. You have to have in this day and time, Donald Toussaint, we shouldn't be here, man. We should be past this. What do you say to that?
You know, we driving this thing, you know. I was thinking about how you say stop too late. Look at our, and I'm just saying, look at our society. We like twerking and tweaking and
drop it like it's hot.
Tic-tacking and that little song, and everybody shaking their little tail feather. And so everybody knows how you can get in the limelight of social media and in the clique of the rich and famous. So you get up there and you do like everybody else is doing, just being part of the crowd. Until they have you welcome or invited to the sidebar. Now you got a private setting that they expect you to twerk it, shake it like it's hot, drop it like it's warm, and all that kind of stuff. But you didn't know they was gonna go that far. But they do. And you say stop, but they don't. And because they're rich and famous, and or whatever the case may be, it's too late. So you back out, and it happens, and they sabotage you, whatever the case may be. You lose your job, they backball you, and everything else, and you find out that their buddies just like it. So when you take it to court, little did you know, I'm gonna say it again, they all in it together.
They're all in it together. Yep.
One other thing, and I know I'm out of time. Just because you resign, that don't mean you don't have to go to trial.
I
hope you still got to face it.
I hope so, man. Because if they're guilty just because of the fact that they resigned from their job, it's still on the table. Leonard, what do you say to that, brother? What's on your heart?
Well, you know, that's been my opinion, as I mentioned before. Even with these police officers that do what they do, they resign and don't face prosecution. And a woman needs to call in and tell me or explain to us, if you leave your purse on your desk and I go in your purse, the police coming. Think about that. You're trying to tell me somebody put their hands in your drawers and you don't say nothing?
Your brother said drawers.
I'm just saying, we have to really get people to understand, because I want people to be aware of this game that's being played.
Yes.
And it ain't got to be about rich and famous people. It could be a young boy getting ready to graduate and go to college. I've had several of these issues where the state has wanted to make these young boys out of sexual predators when the girl fully consents to everything that's going on. So the Me Too movement ain't around because the Me Too movement is only around when it benefits them. Me Too don't care nothing about facts. Me Too cares about allegations and getting people removed from positions of authority and destroying their livelihood. That's what Me Too is about. So to go after wealthy men in power. That's what they do. And when they don't have an interest in doing so, they don't get involved. But like Rico was saying, we got sex trafficking and everything. They busted 2 massage parlors out here in my little rural town for prostitution. But then you got some women protecting prostitutes, saying it ain't the prostitute fault. You know how the name changed?
Yeah.
Now they're sex workers. How can you be a sex worker in the state when it's illegal?
Wow.
Oh, she didn't know what else to do. She didn't have no other choice. So I do not care. If that little boy can go to jail, that little girl got to go to jail. Because both of them are participating in a criminal act willfully. They pick boys up. You can, if you down in a certain area here in Georgia, right over here in Clarkston, as a matter of fact, and a girl is standing on the bus stop and she want to, or stand on the corner, she need to ride to the gas station. You pick that girl up, take her to the gas station, then police is behind you and charging you with soliciting prostitution.
Good Lord.
So we have to understand and quit looking at it like it's just the rich and the famous, because it's not. It's everybody.
Absolutely. Across the board.
And everybody is using one another. And then you never know the details, especially if can't nobody talk about it.
That's good. That's
you
good.
got men sitting in jail right now, ain't going to trial because the state has no evidence against them. But the point is to keep them in prison, to destroy their livelihood, so they lose their jobs, they destroy their family and everything else, but won't take them to court and show the evidence that they have against them.
Hey, Leonard. Hey, Leonard.
Go ahead.
Hey, did you work that case? I'm going to throw a name out there because I can openly admit now that I am one of the first people, if not the only person, to bring it to the attention of Oprah Winfrey, and she wound up doing the show, and she wound up getting the young boy off. Do y'all remember that case with the kid down there in Georgia? I want to say it was Rome, Georgia. With the kid, his name was DeMarcus. I think it was DeMarcus White, where his girlfriend was a young white female who he was dating this girl. He was living in a predominantly white town down there, right? He was living there because the mama was strung out on crack or whatever. He was playing Little League Baseball, and the Little League Baseball coach saw something in him, white man, saw something in him, and then they checked the school records. He wasn't going to school. So they went to the house, found the mom was on crack. So the coach asked the mama, please let him come and stay with me and my wife. We'll adopt him. We'll take care of him. You can have visitation. You can see him whenever you want to see him. There's something special in the kid. So the mama agreed. The little kid started dating this white girl down there. And she was a virgin. He was a virgin. The problem was that the kid, because of his mama's crack use, he was behind like a year or 2 years. He was behind because he wasn't showing up to school, right? So he was like 18, if I'm not mistaken, and the girl that he was seeing was 16. And the little white girl that he was seeing was bragging around to the school, talking about how she was going to lose her virginity. You know, down there they got the trailers where they go to class or whatever. So they snuck into the trailer, and they consummated their relationship or whatever. The kid was a highly touted middle linebacker. He was considered the best thing coming to college. He was like the #1 middle linebacker in the country. Come to find out, the girl's father was the Grand Dragon of the Klan down there. And they were trying to sentence this young boy to like life and trying to send him to the adult jail. They was charging him as an adult. And it was all based off of some law. I don't know what the law is. Y'all can look it up. But some law that a black congressman wrote down there that didn't even apply to his case. They was applying that law and was going to make it stick. So when I saw the story, I actually saw the story on Brian Gumbel's show.
Wrap it up.
And I immediately hit Oprah and said, Oprah, you need to look into this. Here's his name, Marcus White, Georgia. They charging this boy with rape, blah, 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 blah. Oprah got involved and came down and did a whole investigation. And all of a sudden, the charges went away. But the kid had already been locked up in adult jail. He was locked up without bail, you know what I mean? They never gave him a bail or a bond.
Right.
But come to find out, the girl and everybody testified. Black, white, Candy Stripe testified that no, he did not rape her. She consented to that. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, this, that, and the third. And they totally ignored that. I don't know if y'all remember that, but that was probably about 10 or 15 years ago down there.
Okay, gotta keep it moving.
Right. And since then, they've had another case where they established the Romeo and Juliet law. And here in Georgia, as it relates to these types of situations, especially in school, but now they have the law, but they still do a lot of work to let
these boys understand this concept. If you are in high school, you can't have these relationships with these younger girls. I didn't deal with that particular case, and I wouldn't reveal it anyway. But McDaniel College, I believe, is the college that young man was going to. He went to, I think, or something of that nature. I'm not sure. But I remember that name, DeMarcus White. But I've had other cases where it's completely consensual. They have the text messages and everything of the girl telling the boy, come out here, meet me over here, and all these types of things. But they pursue the boy and claim that the girl does not have enough sense to make the decision.
Wow. Let me do this. Let me go to we got
that is completely unfair, and it's not going to be fair until, like we say, we erase the privileges. Everybody goes to court. Everybody.
Exactly. Let me go to the phone line. We got another caller. I think it's Cassandra. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good. Cassandra, we're asking we're talking about right now the Me Too movement. What does it mean to you, Cassandra, the Me Too movement? And is it unfortunate that we are in a society in 2021, soon to be 2022, where we have to even have a Me Too movement? And Badger, I'm coming to you. I want to go to the call. I'm coming to you next, Badger.
Yeah. You know, unfortunately, because of the way women have been treated for so long, and like second-class citizens, and abused by male counterparts on jobs, and in social settings, then something like this had to come out, because women have been quiet for the most part and have just absorbed the sexual harassment or whatever. And yeah, it's unfortunate that we live in a country like that, but that's just like the way they treat Black people, as far as I'm concerned. Women are treated like second-class citizens for the most part. If a woman she ain't even got to be good looking. If she got some kind of body on her, men take that as an open invitation, if she's working under them, that to harass them. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. And we cannot say that it doesn't happen, because I know women that are going through it right now on their jobs and won't say anything because they need their job.
Wow. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, this conversation, man. There's a lot going on with it. I'm just kind of happy that people are actually getting together to, voice that women matter and they're not property. Growing up, I got so tired of seeing it happen so much. Like, even though my mother was abusive and stuff like that, I never viewed her in that way, or any other or woman. So it always baffled my mind why it became such a part of the North American culture. And then you get into history and things like that, which I'm not even going to open that door today. You can start to figure out where it comes from. Because the culture I grew up in, women were considered higher, because they gave birth. The relationships are 100-100. What you respect the woman no matter what. But as I've gotten older, I've also learned that there's a line to that, because there are some really psychotic women out there. But that's also not saying that every single one of them is. Just like not every single man is bad either. And just sometimes it seems that there are more men that are on the wrong side of the line than there are women sometimes. But it's so embedded into the culture that's in America that I think it's going to take many years to unwrite that thought process.
Mm-hmm. Let me do this. We're gonna do something a little different today, and Leonard's gonna love this because Leonard love the debate. Leonard love to debate. So we're gonna let everybody pick their own sides, and we're gonna say what are the pros and the cons of the Me Too movement. What are the pros and the cons of the Me Too movement? But before we go there, I think we got Toya back with us. Toya, with the T, you back with us?
Hey, yeah.
Okay. What's on your heart right now before we get into our debate? We're gonna jump into a debate for just a few minutes and see what what are the pros and the cons. But what's on your heart right now?
Oh man, listen, deep conversation, man. But no, it is time. I think the problem with humanity and the problem with the world from day one is that it's always been something other than what thus saith the Lord. Like, what are we doing? We know, and we know we're doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? For men and for women, men are not the only ones that do that. Women do it too. We do it when we young, we're young impressionable boys. Because of the evil and the wickedness inside of us too. We go and we carry on and try to tempt men, sit in the front row of the pastor with legs open and caring no folks be married, still want to go mess with them, want to just use our women like powers against men as well. So this is not just a hit for men. We just talking about humanity and how we are using our things, especially with sex and sexual harassment, wickedly. We're not supposed to do that. It needs to be stopped and corrected, and that's why we're having this conversation today.
Absolutely. Before we go there, we got another call. I think it's K with the E. K with the E. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. Blessed and oh my goodness. I'm glad it's way back Wednesday because I don't got to ask what's your subject.
Well, we're actually talking about the Me Too movement right now. What do you think about the Me Too movement?
I don't think nothing about the Me Too movement because Kay has been dealing with 11 to 14-year-old sex trafficking little girls and little boys. That's what Kay has been dealing with in her community. So I haven't even been thinking about it's so much going on that we need to deal with at hand till that ain't nothing I can even think about right now. I ain't had a time to think about it. When I tell y'all that's what I've been dealing with, that's what I've been dealing with. I have had to literally call DFS, police, community activist people to come out and meet me at the people's house. I got a great nephew, just got out the hospital, had surgery because his jaw got broken in 3 different places because a grown man hit him in the jaw over some girls having sex in vacant houses, going throughout a neighborhood. People see these kids with all these little boys looking for houses to kick up in. Nobody want to report nothing. But then when you get wind of it, the lady say, oh, that's my son's body. I know my son. And now they all over here yesterday knocking on my daughter's door and she ain't at home. Neighbors and gave her phone number up because it's their daughters that's doing it. And they trying to say my granddaughters. No, give me the phone. I told my daughter, I said, she's not coming home. I said, and I'm glad y'all got wind that y'all's kids been doing the most. But now y'all need to deal with it. Go back over there to the house next door where those little girls that they've been running through all over there. Go back over there, get their parents. I said, get with the police. The police is here. I said, good.
Good deal.
They all here. I said, good, because we're not coming. I took a ball, I put air in it, and I bounced it on y'all's court. Y'all doing what y'all supposed to do with it now. Get with y'all kids and get y'all some help because I did my part. And my daughter don't gotta come home.
Okay.
And
Now,
the police said, we want to talk to the kids. I said, well, she'll be there because y'all gonna be there for a while. And when she gets there, y'all can talk to them.
Okay.
I said,
now,
but
this
no, those are not my
Kay.
granddaughters running around in those houses. They were just the
Okay. Kay ain't gonna stop. Kay gonna keep going. She had to mute her for a second. Sorry to have to do that to you, sister, but I wanna get to what we're about to do right now. We're about to do a debate. We're about to do a debate, and on that debate, I'm gonna have Cassandra. I want to have you as the lead on one side. Is that okay? Cassandra, you there? Okay. Let me go. Let me go to Toya with a T. Toya, can you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Cassandra, you back?
Yes. I'm actually around outside.
I can barely hear you, sis.
Can you come back to me?
Cassandra, I can barely hear you.
Can you come back to me?
Okay, yes. What I wanted to do, I wanted you, Cassandra, to lead one group on the debate team. I wanted you to lead one group, and I wanted Leonard to lead the other side. Leonard, would you be willing to lead the other side?
It really depends. I'm on the righteous side. I don't advocate for the devil or anything in that family fashion.
I wanted you to be on the con side. I want Cassandra to be on the pro side. You to be on the con side.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And we're gonna start it off. Let me write this down. Make sure I get myself in order here. Pro is Cassandra, and con is Leonard. And anybody could come in and make the point, but keep it within 3 minutes. Keep it within 3 minutes, because we're gonna roll with this thing. We're not gonna go real long with it, but I want to hear everybody's argument and why the Me Too movement is good or bad or whatever it is. Cassandra, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know whether you're going to be able to hear me, so you might need to get someone else. I'm actually down at the hospital, and I'm getting ready to go in. So I'm not. I want to just listen.
Okay. Toya with a T.
Right.
Can you lead the pro Me Too?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. 3 minutes. Everybody keep it within 3 minutes. Toya with a T, we're coming to you first, and anybody could jump in. We're gonna start with Toya, then we're gonna go to Leonard, and then after that, you tell them what side you on and why. Toya with a T, tell me why the Me Too movement is good. Why is it good? What are the pros?
Well, some of the pros of the Me Too movement is that it allows people to have a place, a safe house, or a group of other individuals have experienced or been in a similar situation, which is very important and conducive to their growth. It's a place where we have education to be able to teach others about some of the key signs of sexual assault, not only for themselves, but to even be able to spot it for, a neighbor or children. So with those two things right there, if we know better, we can do better. We provide that for people. That's what we see you provide for people, kind of a safe haven in a group, as you would say, like Alcoholics Anonymous for sexual assault victims.
Okay, that's good. Leonard, what are the cons? Me Too movement.
I believe that the biggest con related to the Me Too movement is the power given to the Me Too movement to remove individuals from their positions of authority, destroying their livelihood without having to reveal the facts of each and every individual case that they support. And they also believe that this group has lent itself to being a tool used by others who have an agenda against other high-ranking men. Me Too movement usually goes after those individuals who are famous, maybe celebrities, or have some type of wealth. And this is what makes them very suspect, that they should not be used in this way, and the things that they say and the information that they put out used against individuals in matters of a criminal nature. This violates the human rights of both individuals involved, and also may hurt these cases when they are actually tried in courts of law.
Okay. Anybody want to jump in? Who's jumping in, and what side are you? What side are you with? Curtis?
Well, it seems like nobody got the pros. To back up the pros of it is that.
What's up, Renee?
Hold on. I'm gonna let Toya finish your thought. I'm gonna come back to you, and I want to know what side are you favoring with, and what is your point. Everybody can keep within 3 minutes. Toya with a T, finish your thought.
We have to understand that the Me Too movement did not come before the law. The law on sexual assault was made first. The Me Too movement is just simply a collective group of women who decide to actually stand up and voice their opinion. What happens to an individual after the accusation or in finding out that it is true or not true, anything after that is not caused by the Me Too movement. It is caused by the reputation that has been damaged by the individual that is indeed in that situation. So I don't think that the Me Too movement should be held accountable for any loss or any bad representation or bad reputation that the individual suffers. That's kind of what comes with that life. And just like any other crime that they will commit, there are going to be some consequences and repercussions depending on on any type of crime. And the Me Too movement should be viewed the same way. They're simply a group that are here to expose personal experiences. And if someone should happen to experience a decline in their already overinflated funding, it's not because of the Me Too movement, it's because of the situation.
Okay, Curtis, pros and cons. What side are you sitting on right now with the Me Too movement? And what's your point?
Rodney, I'm sorry, but I'm not choosing a side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then
no, I'm not doing that because somebody will take me choosing a side as this is how I believe, not realizing that I can stand in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I think the Me Too movement is a powerful, powerful movement for women to get vindication and to receive closure. But I also think that it shoots itself in the foot when it does not allow the men or whomever is being accused of a violation to not receive due process, and or when it's allowed to put out information that would then make the determining people to determine guilt or bias about a given person. Some things need to stay in the courtroom. Some things don't need to be. We cannot be supporting movements that try people in the public eye. When you try and poke in the public eye, you damage the process, because now, even if the guy is guilty, now he can honestly tell a judge that, hey, I can't get a fair trial. I can't get a fair trial because if I choose a jury trial, every single jurist, there's a chance that 80% of the jury is going to have a biased opinion of me prior to me even entering the courtroom.
Okay, good deal.
Lastly, I'll say this.
3 minutes.
For the women who have suffered, my heart go out to you. My tears drop for you. If I had it my way, they would be castrated and or killed.
Good deal. Good deal.
But for the women who are making these things up, I say,
Curtis, 3 minutes, brother. 3 minutes, brother. 3 minutes. We gotta keep it within 3 minutes. We're gonna keep rolling.
I'm done, Ryan. I'm done.
Good deal. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what is on your side, brother? You have a side? Are you pro or con?
Well, first off, let me say that for everything under the sun, there's a pro and a con. Everything under the sun has a pro and a con. So now I want to come back and do a pro later on, but I'm gonna speak on the cons because there's always a benefit and a liability in anything we do. Now, don't get me wrong. Me Too it was past due. It's overdue for Me Too movement to exist. But honestly, it should include men too. Remember when Terry Crews came up and he had a story about encounters he had in Hollywood. So it shouldn't just be a women's only movement if that's what it's perceived as. But the con to that movement, as with everything, you can get people in place that will manipulate something good and use it to get their agenda across. So now you have the potential for innocent people to get caught up in that momentum. The minute Me Too picks up some momentum and then it starts trending, then the minute the man gets associated with it on the wrong end, that means public opinion might run in that direction. Man might be innocent. Somebody actually may, in a sinister, with a sinister mindset, may intentionally manipulate a situation to put a man in that case. Now here he is grouped in with the R. Kelly. Here he is grouped in with the rapists and the molesters. He's grouped in with these people like Marcus Dixon. That's what I want to tell y'all. The man's name in Rome, Georgia was Marcus Dixon. He was 17 and she was 15. That situation where women cry rape, Rosewood. We have so many different situations where people have cried rape. So that doesn't prevent that. You have to put something in place to prevent that. Yeah, this is what I really get involved with. Sometimes when we do get involved with a movement, we only look at the pros and we only look at the benefits and the good of it. And I get accused a lot of times of being a pessimist, of being negative, because from the very beginning, being that I like things to be sort of as foolproof or perfect as it could be, I will look at the chance of it, the negative effects it could have.
Good deal.
Some people don't do that. They only want to run with the momentum. Me too, me too, me too, me too. But what about when it's used the wrong way? What about when somebody is lying? Like Toya said earlier, women lie too.
Okay.
So you know that's when it can have a negative effect. That's when it could be a con. When you are an innocent person and you get the wrath of this whole organization and the movement that this momentum that this movement has comes all down on top of your head and you ain't did nothing.
Good deal, good deal. And let's keep everything. Let's keep everything 3 minutes. Somebody, is anybody out there?
Yeah.
Who want to go next?
It's Badger.
Go ahead, Badger.
You know, I actually had to look it up and stuff, and there are actually guys that are also doing the Me Too too as well, that are part of that movement. But I'm kind of neutral. I believe all movements have their place, and they have the potential to do some good. But on the same flip of the coin, when you get involved in movements, you also got to worry about the negative, the people that's going to cause the issues or give a falseness to it. Yet, well, at times, you know, like with the way social media is right now, you know, social media can be very skewed. You know, when someone records a video, you know, they can only record, put online only a certain part of it and not the whole part. You know, it makes people very biased. And then when evidence is actually shown that, you know, that's not how it went down, you know, it's very, a lot of people's minds are made up already. So even sometimes when evidence is shown, you know, they choose not to believe it or think it's a hoax or whatever because of first impressions. So, you know, the laws that's been in place and stuff, you know, people have abused them too and used them for either personal gain or negative or positive reasons. So, to me, it's more of an issue of the judicial system doing things properly like they should be, and not being allowed to be corrupted or swayed to one side or the other. And to me, that's a lot of the source of the issue. Is how many of the ones that, you know, even when they're proven guilty or proven innocent, you know, about the people that's been proven guilty and they don't even get hardly any time in jail whatsoever, but these innocent people get put a lot of jail time, and then they prove that they're innocent and they have to fight just to get out. So, you know, I don't disagree with the movement. What I view it as, like, giving people, seeing other people voice what's happened to them, I do think gives people strength to speak out. But there are still a lot of people in this day and age that are terrified to speak out because they probably honestly think something bad's going to happen to them if they do.
That's good. That's good. Cassandra, yeah, anything on your heart? Cassandra, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm just listening.
Okay, good deal, good deal. K with an E, what's on your heart? K, you there? Okay, I think we might have lost K there. Let's go back to Leonard. Leonard, what's
I'm on a mute. I'm trying to get off. You ain't lost me.
We got to keep it rolling, though, sister. What's on your heart?
Y'all can keep it rolling. I'm actually trying to get ready because I have to go to a meeting.
Okay, Leonard,
I'm just listening though.
Got you. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
I think that it is important to support the Me Too movement as a tool for awareness of issues and to provide support groups around the nation for the victims of sexual abuse, sexual harassment. However, just like any other organization, everyone is responsible for the information that they disseminate to the public. And the vetting process is very important, and it needs to be added to the Me Too movement. There is a lot more to this than a simple allegation. The Me Too movement should focus its strength and its power on making sure that individuals who violate anyone sexually are brought to justice and charged for the crimes that they have committed.
That's good.
Just like my brother Kurt mentioned earlier, this is very important when it comes to actual justice for the victims of these crimes. And it is unfair to anyone who is charged with these types of allegations not to be allowed to face their accusers and to defend themselves in courts of law.
That's good. That's
Too
good.
many men have suffered for things that they have not done, which is clearly evident today by our need to introduce DNA evidence and things of that nature to secure the freedom for those who have been charged unjustly and convicted.
Good deal.
There is nothing that you can do to give them back what they have lost after these false allegations and these public trials.
That's good. That's good. Toya, you want to talk to me, sis?
Well, when it comes to the pros of it, we must understand that sexual assault is not a clean-cut situation. There are multitudes of ways that this can occur. And the more money they have, the easier it is to make it seem like it is the victim. That's kind of the point. It's not like they're going to be honest about the situation. So what we see, what Me Too does, is we bring it to light. If it's an accusation, just like if it was a child crime, just like if it was any other crime, we cannot control the outcome of what would happen, but we do not have time to waste to try to assume that this person who could be possible, who is actually being accused of it, we don't have time to waste. There's too much that can happen in between time. There's too much that they can build up. And when you have money, as we talked about earlier, the more money you have, the easier it is to plead your case. And there can be a lot of innocent people. This is damaging, as we're saying, this can be against them. It's a lot easier for those who have the money to bounce back than it is for a young woman that you simply won because you hired the best lawyer. This is not that kind of case when we're dealing with sexual assault. And again, that's why we're here, to help educate, help spread the word. And yes, in the event that someone should bring this up along with our investigation, we will attack that if that person is found out to be wrong. But with a sexual assault, it's so complicated to actually pinpoint some of these actual perpetrators of it. We really don't have that kind of time to try to figure it out, because we're talking about things that happened 5 or 10 years. So, you know, We Too the movement is more or less to bring it to light. We'll handle it from that point on. And the person who is being accused should have enough finances and resources to be able to prove their innocence. And if their reputation indeed precedes them, then they will be just fine. And then, of course, we will handle the situation accordingly with everything that we know.
Good deal.
Know.
Anybody want to be up next? Should I call on someone? Anybody got up? Who's up?
Y'all, Raheem, well, y'all talking about a subject, literally, I did yesterday. They had the 52, I don't know if he was 52 or 57, but he went to jail because he was having these, I don't know if they was his nieces, but they was doing sex acts and taping it and selling it to him. He's supposed to be their uncle. And so I didn't even know all that was going on. I just knew that the little girls was going into the vacant houses. But that's what all came out yesterday. And he went to jail yesterday. And I was like, wow, because I didn't know all that was going on at first. and all that came out. And so somebody had to answer to that. And I didn't get up off of it, and I didn't let up off of it. I called the community activists. We sat in front of that house until somebody heard me. And that man went to jail yesterday. He showed up over there like he came to support, not knowing that all that was going to come out. Wow. I didn't even know it was going to all come out. And he went to jail yesterday.
That's good. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Pros or cons?
Well, like I said earlier, you know, I can actually argue on both sides of it because I try to keep an open mind about the realization of life. You know, like I said, you could take anything good and manipulate it just for your benefit and make it bad for somebody else. But I feel like, you know, the fact that somebody could actually utilize the power of Me Too to retaliate against somebody, make an accusation against them, and know that they have this momentum. That's one of the biggest dangers of it. You know, it's the fact that the human mind, sometimes we feel like that if we look at the pros and cons, we just have to take one side. That's what's so messed up about politics now. Sometimes we feel like we have to just take one side and then ignore all the other things that we should be addressing. If we don't look at the cons, we only look at the pros. I think I said that a second ago. And so sometimes you have to also look at the cons and understand, okay, what is it that I need to do to make sure that this thing doesn't work in the wrong way? See, the good thing about Me Too, is the fact that it gives women that voice. Leonard said earlier, the support system. You know, I made the comment that there was a white man in the 1940s that did something to my grandmama that said that, you know what, it don't matter what you say. Because just because this the way this culture is set up, I got the right to do this to you. I don't care how traumatized you are. I don't care how, she heard it happen to her grandmother. She heard it at a younger age, somebody doing it to her parent. White men coming in just having their way. So somewhere a culture was created, and then even some black men felt like they were privileged and entitled as a man to grip a booty, to touch a woman, to caress her, put their hands on them and invade their space, and then say, well, it ain't that bad. I didn't stick my hand down your shirt, but in some cases, it was okay for that to happen. So now Me Too exists because it needs a voice to go against that culture that told a woman or a man, look, I could do you any kind of way because I'm rich, powerful, and you need a job. You need me to survive. You need me to provide for your family. And if you run your mouth about how low down and nasty I am, I'm going to fire your butt and put you out here on these streets. Well, Me Too has given people a voice now to defend those entities because now it's finally being addressed that people abuse their power.
Exactly. Curtis, talk to me, brother. Where you at?
You know, I'm support of if you've been violating people, you should be in prison, you should be up under the jail. So I'm in support of that. But I'm like Rico, I'm on both sides of the fence on this. I can see both angles. Because Rico just said something that was so important when he said, if you're using the movement to retaliate, then you're taking away from the movement. And I'm just going to say it like this, right? Me and my family was almost a product of the Me Too movement. When my son was 9 years old, he went to camp, little white Caucasian female sister. She liked my son. But my son at 9 was like, man, I don't know, because his representation, he's from Ridgeway, South Carolina. His representation of Caucasian females ain't a good one. Okay. So, man, I don't know about this one. So when he denied her access to him, she went and told the camp president that my son had groped her. They pulled my son in and interrogated him. Okay, and was getting ready to send him home until he called and told me and his mother what was going on. We said, we on the way. When we said we were going that way, all of a sudden the story changed. She then came in and admitted that she was lying. She was just upset because my son did not like her the way that she wanted him to like her. So I hear when people have problems, I'm reminded, and I'm just going to call a spade, being in human behavior for all these years, certain things I pick up on. Rose McGowan destroyed the Me Too movement because everything she did was vindictive. So you didn't know what to believe in her story. You didn't know to believe if she was telling the truth. You didn't know if she was acting. You didn't know if she was making up a lie. You didn't know what to believe. And that's what caused for the Me Too movement to lose some of its accreditation. That's what caused for people who really had been assaulted, like what's the girl from the Whisperer show? That's what caused for her to walk away, because Rose McGowan had then taken the Me Too movement somewhere that it literally looked like it was going to be a movement filled with a bunch of bitter women who was upset because they did not receive the things that they may have been promised in the industry, or you see what I'm saying? So I can see it from both angles.
Good deal.
But when I look at it from a perspective of, I have sons. And God knows if somebody lie on one of my sons like that, and now I gotta go through all this rigmarole with prison and going back and forth, I'm gonna have a problem, bro. Especially if I find out that it was all a lie.
Exactly. We're going to wrap this part up, man. Toya, you with a T? Oh, in your closing, how would you like to close? Toya? Toya, you there? Let's go to Leonard. Leonard, how would you like to close, brother?
I would like to close with saying that the Me Too movement needs to be held accountable for each and every case it supports. There should be rules, policies, and procedures for how they vet their cases, and they should be held liable and responsible for any information that they put out that is false.
That's good. Toya, are you back with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, in your closes.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, just to keep the Me Too movement is simply a movement that's a voice for the women, a place for women to be educated, and a support group for them to be able to come and get support. Again, they stand firm on the fact that anything that should happen, whether the allegations are true or otherwise, should not be held responsible by the organization, but to the individual. By the individual, we do that. We do agree with that. However, we must understand the severity of this instance. We must keep in mind, if it was our daughters, if it was our sisters, our sons, that a crime was casted against, you don't want to wait for them to sort it out. You want them to get the recognition, something to be done immediately, which is what happens, and work from there. So, on behalf of that being said, the Me Too movement is an important key, and any specifics or allocations that will become after that should be looked at just as detrimental as what has happened to the so-called victim.
Good deal. And it doesn't matter what side you're on. Both sides made some very valid points. And this is and what it did, it opened up conversation, opened up communication, and hopefully you can have this same conversation with some of the people that's in your circle, and you can look at this thing realistically and find out exactly what it is. Cassandra, are you back with us? Cassandra, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, Cassandra, I want to ask you a question. In light of everything that's going on in the gospel music world, you got Tye Tribbett. He came out and spoke out against it. He got a couple other artists that said some real negative things about gospel music. Tye Tribbett, he's one of the big wheels in it. And a lot of people are talking bad about gospel music this day and time. So, Cassandra, let me ask you this question. Is gospel music saved?
Is gospel music what?
Is it like saved music? Or is it just another form of just another genre of music that we listen to?
It should be a faith spiritual thing, but you have a lot of artists that are not. They're totally in their flesh and they're totally in it for what they can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to condone anything. I've seen it personally. I know people that have been in the industry on high levels, and some of the stuff they do, they're no different than any other group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
doing the same crazy stuff. They're getting high before they perform
Wow.
at a gospel concert. Come on now. I'm just being real about what
There
I
you go.
know,
That-
not
that-
what
yeah.
I think, not what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes them any different than anybody else? So
Wow.
gospel music, I think they have a lot of crap going on, and they need to fix it
Mm-hmm.
because accountability is everything.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? And it's a different kind of question, but is gospel music saved, man, or is it just another genre of music? Because Cassandra said, man, a lot of time, a lot of the artists that perform it, gospel artists, they're getting high before they go on the stage to perform it. So, Leonard, what do you say to that?
Well, gospel music is that's all gospel music is a genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
Your personal feelings about it may be here or there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a genre of music with individuals who are human beings who perform just like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The gift to be able to sing has nothing to do with how you feel about what it may be that you're singing about.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow.
Especially in the context of the gospel, we do understand that everybody sins and everybody falls short and everybody has problems.
Mm-hmm.
In gospel music, a lot of people sing about their problems.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's not shocked. I'm not shocked when I hear of gospel artists doing anything that any other artist would do.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because they're just human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Just like every person that sings the gospel ain't saved. Everybody that sings the gospel
That was my next
ain't
question.
called to preach.
That was going to be my next question. People that's actually in there singing the gospel music, are they supposed to? Do we look at them as being saved folk?
Well, if they profess to be saved, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are some, for instance, musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians are often just hired musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They play at church in the morning and they play the club at night. They're just musicians.
Yeah.
They play music.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I don't believe churches even require their choir. Well, I think you have to be a member of a church to be in a choir.
Mm-hmm.
And usually to be a member of a church, I know in the Christian church, you usually are, you go through the stewardship and you join the church and you part of it is professing your belief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you're allowed to be in the choir. However, I'm not sure is this the same with musicians that are hired to just play the music.
Mm-hmm. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Is
so,
gospel?
you know,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leonard. Finish your thought.
you shouldn't be deifying people just because they sing the gospel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're just people who have a gift to sing, and that's
Mhm.
why they sing. Many of them are alcoholics, drug addicts, and all types of things.
Woo. Woo.
Just like you may have issues.
Mm-hmm.
But when you just want to point the finger at those in the public eye, I think sometimes we are guilty of judging people unfairly.
Okay. Let me go to Kurt. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say to this?
What do I say to the judgment of people?
No, gospel
I say
music.
that the church.
Gospel music being
I say that the
no, about the the part we're talking about gospel music being saved.
being saved.
Yeah. Should the people that sing, that profess gospel music, get up there and sing gospel music, perform gospel music, should they be saved? Should they live a certain lifestyle? And do they live up to it?
No.
Mm.
No, we listen. I remember a long time ago, an old killer told me this. We was talking about spirituality and this, that, and the third. And you know what he said to me? I was, saying, man, going to hell, blah, 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 blah. And he looked at me, he said, hey, young buck, let me tell you something right now. I said, what's up, man? He said, you don't know what a killer's prayer is. So who are you to condemn them to hell? Who are you to tell them what they can and can't do when it comes down to them reaching to their God? Reaching to the God that they believe in. You don't know a sinner's prayer. You know what I mean? He looked at me and told me, he said, man, every night, man, for the things I done did, every night I got to pray because I still believe. that don't make him no worse of a person than me. I'm sinning too. Sin is sin. Right.
But I understand that, and that makes sense, Kurt. But my thing is, if you're up there in front of the people and you're professing a certain, you professing that you are this and you're saved, and I'm talking about the ones that do, you know, because Leonard made a very valid point. It depends on what they profess. So if they profess that they are saved and they're living this lifestyle and they love the Lord and blah blah blah, and then before they go on stage, like Cassandra just said, they're getting high, they're doing all these different things. It sounds like a mixture. There's too much of a mixture going on there, and that's just me talking. What do you say to that?
You can't sin and love the Lord.
I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe what was just said. You can't sin and love the Lord. I don't believe that. I do not believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I believe that's man's interjection as to how people supposed to live their lives.
Well, so, but Kurt, we're gonna keep this thing at 3 minutes.
Hold, let me finish. Don't cut me off. I ain't cut nobody off.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What I believe is that we so caught up judging man for what man does to our physical eye that we can't even see what he does in his spiritual form. That's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. I could be dead wrong, and I'm pretty sure it's 1,000,001 scriptures that can tell you otherwise. But I also remember that there's a scripture that says, if you have not shown brotherly kindness, you understand, then you do not know love. If you have not shown love, then you do not know God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that may be the problem right there, Kurt. They don't know God. That may be the very problem. They don't know God, because I also know a scripture that says you can't be lukewarm. You're either gonna be hot or you're going to be cold, because if you're lukewarm, he's going to spew you out of his mouth. Let me do. I want to go to Toya with a T, because she has something to say. That
you never let me finish what I was going to say.
Okay, brother. I'm finish your thought. We got to keep it at 3 minutes though. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, at the end of the day, if a person is doing whatever they're doing and they have belief that God is going to make a great shift in their life, they should be in church. The church is nothing but a spiritual hospital. And we need to stop keeping folks out of church. We gonna wind up in hell for that.
See, that's not what I'm talking about, though, Kurt. I'm not talking about keeping them out of church. I'm saying them showing a false narrative as to who they are and saying that they this and professing that they're this.
When you say to them that what they doing, you're not physically keeping them out of church. But if your judgment is this right here, then you have people, and I know you done heard folks say that.
There's
Man,
two
I'm
different
not going
things.
down that church, and people ain't gonna do nothing but judge me.
There's
I know you done heard them say
there's
that.
two different
That's a
things, man,
form of
about them coming to
judgment.
there's two different things.
Judgment, bro.
There's two different things about them going to church and them singing the gospel. They could go to church all day long. Don't mean they have to get up there and profess that they're this and they're that. They can go to church. We're not saying them don't go to church. We're not telling them that. What we're telling them is
so now you're in the business of telling people how to worship.
That has nothing. Them singing the gospel. Them singing the gospel has nothing to do with their worship, Kurt. Come on, Kurt. You bigger than that, man. You bigger than that. You gonna tell me? Hold on, Kurt. You gonna tell me right now? You gonna tell me right now that what I'm saying about them singing the gospel has something to do with their worship? So you really want me to believe that? That's what you think. That's what you think.
You are worshiping, Raheem. What are you talking about?
Kurt.
When you
Kurt.
hold
on, Kurt. Now you can't talk on me, brother. Hold on, Kurt. Hold on. My thing is this right here, brother. You cannot tell me or make me believe that you think the only way that you go that they can worship is by singing the gospel.
Raheem, you can't tell me that they can. How can you tell me they can? That might be the only form of worship they know. What if they can't read?
See, okay, I'm ready to come to you, Rico. Kurt, now you going to a very far left extreme, bro. That has nothing. Now you're bringing in the fact that they can or can't read. They ain't got nothing. Kurt, hold on, brother. They ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. You bringing in all this stuff.
I get what Curtis is saying. I get what Curtis is saying, but see, to a point when you know for a fact that some of these guys are getting in these gospel groups and you hear them. Man, I can't wait to go to such and such. There's some women up there, man. There's some freaks up there. Man, them women be coming to watch us sing, man. They be singing and shouting. Then all of a sudden, after the show, man, it'd be like back in the day when we went to the club. So when you hear the gospel groups and the gospel singers doing that, and that's their motivation. They still singing those words of worship, but they ain't there to worship. They just there to entertain you and see what's gonna happen afterwards. But then you get some that say, well, you know what, man, let's make it a little bit more entertainment, entertaining. Let me preach a little bit of the word in between. Let me do a little acting. And so now here it is, you ain't worshiping, you're tricking people, you playing with their emotions because you want them to come up and, brother, you sound so good, and brother, you did this and that, and you can charm them and keep on charming them before you know it, you in them draws. You got a phone, you got a book full of telephone numbers again, just like back in the day. And I'm around guys that do this. They even make me think about going to sing sometimes. Gospel. Ain't that something? So now, when you hear these people saying this, that's actually doing the singing, and they getting the bookings, and they traveling, and they throwing gospel explosions, and they got other people coming in doing it, then you hear that after the show, they getting high off coke. They screwing on their wives, screwing on their husbands, messing with other people in the group. They only got, they can't keep group members. You know what I'm saying? Groups change up so much now locally because it's almost like they're doing a new edition and Silk. They just changing up and flipping and beeping, and they can't stay together because they are only entertaining.
Exactly.
So, you know, when it gets to a point where you have to start realizing that, okay, these people going to have to draw the line and quit preaching the word. They can't get up and start doing scripture and stuff like that while they singing and entertaining when their main motivation is just to make you feel good, but they ain't taking none of that in. They ready to smoke the first blunt and hit the first line of coke smoking. As soon as they finish getting everybody whooped up in their emotions. They just transferred over from rock and roll and R&B to gospel.
The number. Hold somebody asking for the number. The new number that you have to call in. We don't have the 67. We have the 678 number, but we're not using that. The number is 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Again, 508-924-3521. That's the number that you have to call. The number is working. Just call that particular number. The other number is not working. Toya, what is he? What's on your heart?
We do know that God used the devil to bless the masses.
Kurt,
right?
brother, you can't just jump in, brother. We got Kurt, you can't do that,
God
man.
can do what he want to do.
Kurt,
God
we got
can use who he want to use. If he want to use a
Kurt.
donkey, he can use a donkey. But I thought the whole point of the matter was when you use your talents, you use it for the Lord. It sounds like the problem is we getting in God's business. God don't need no help. If God tells somebody to sing, God didn't care what I was doing when he called me. Get up and come do it. And you know what? Along the way, I haven't put down some habits yet, so I'm not going to step up in there. But I still got to call it. So what me and God go through ain't got nothing to do with nobody. There's no excuses. It's nobody else's place. If he tell you to get up there and sing, you know what you need to be doing? Getting up there and singing. He'll make you sing your and you ain't even gonna know what you're doing. Because when he say move, you finna move. So at the end of the day, we're using all this energy to talk about what God do. We don't know. You ain't God. Everybody got a book. Everybody got their past. Mind your business. It ain't you. Mind your business. If they get up and sing for the Lord, that's because the Lord allowed it. And not for nothing. People who getting up in church because, I can't sing. You're not getting up singing for the Lord. So they got to go outside and get somebody that can sing. At the end of the day, that's me and God sends me smoking weed, me smoking cigarettes, me having sex. That's me and God says, mind your business. Because at the end of the day, if God told me to sing and I'm singing, take that up with him.
But see, what you got to understand, sometimes
we all know what God said.
Sometimes just like in the ministry, sometimes God is not calling these people. They just, they're in the ministry because of the fact
How you know that? How we know that? This is an assumption. How do we know that?
You have to look. My thing is
because some of them tell you. Some of them tell you why they going. Some of them tell you why they going. They going to get some women.
Okay, so listen. If your pastor is hiring these groups, or you're going to see these groups, why are they in existence?
Let me ask you a question. That's the case, what do you say, Toya? What do you say? What do you say about this right here, Toya? Let me ask you this question, Toya. Toya, let me ask you this question. I've seen situations where I've seen pastors and bishop and a lot of bishops do this right here. Call somebody, one of their friends or whatever, into the ministry. They say, I'm calling you in. I'm anointing you to go out and preach. Now, this man, he can't do that. God have to call the individuals, and he get his buddy, his friend, because he knows his buddy. You know, maybe they knew each other back in the streets, and he knows his buddy had that hustle, and his buddy could talk people out of whatever he want to talk them out of. And he said, put them in the ministry. I'm gonna bring them into the ministry. I'm going to anoint you, and I'm going to have you as my minister. What's God in that, man?
Well, if the demons is the only one doing it, and none of God people is going to get up and do it, I mean, hey, we letting them have fair game.
Wow.
God, if he calls somebody like me and you, and you don't do it because you're scared, you don't do it because of whatever, and the demons get up there and do it using that same power, I mean, like, whose fault is it? It's the real warriors of God that's sitting back letting these people do it the same way we just talked about.
The blind leading the blind.
With the sex, it's the same way. We need to call them out and not support them.
The blind leading the blind. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? 301 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, that's me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Minister Neil? What's happening? How you doing this morning?
Man, what is wrong with your phone, man? What is going on with this phone business, bro?
Man, listen. Hey, if one ain't working, I'm gonna get one.
You gonna ask me to call us a weapon? If
one ain't working, I'm gonna get one that works.
Talk about this phone.
Okay,
no, we talk about this phone, not this gospel.
Ain't no phone. Ain't no on the phone. What's when you talk? What's on your heart, brother?
We talk about this phone, bro, not this gospel, bro.
What happens,
bro?
What happens,
on the run, bro?
What happens when?
Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
What happens, Minister Neil? What happens when there's when the gospel music?
Morning.
Good morning. Everybody say good morning. What happened when the gospel
Grand
music?
rising, bro.
No, my dear brothers, salute to you.
When the gospel music isn't saved, or the people that's actually
when the gospel music
when the people saved? when the people are actually singing.
Music came, I want to see now.
Say it again.
I'm a little confused. Let me cut my TV down with me.
Yeah, turn your TV down. You're supposed to be at work. What you doing looking at TV? You're supposed to be at work.
I'm cutting the TV down. Wait a minute now. Let me get it straight. You say when the gospel music isn't saved,
and what I mean, that's exactly what I said. And what I'm saying by that is, if the person, Mr. Neil, listen to me. If the person that's up there actually singing the gospel music is living a double life, and they're doing all the things outside, like Cassandra said, she knows some people that's actually in the gospel, professional gospel arena, that actually get high before they go up there and perform. Now I don't that don't really set well with me. So what happens in a situation like that? Should they still be in that position, or what is on your heart?
So are you really saying it's not the music itself, but are you saying it's the industry? I'm a little confused because I'm trying to figure out what the Bible tells us that it's the word and Jesus that saves us. So how gospel music isn't saved? What I'm saying, what I'm asking, I understand exactly what you're saying, and the question that I'm asking you is this right here. Listen to me, and I'm explaining it to you. Listen to me. You keep saying that. Hold on, you're not listening to me, brother. You're not listening to me. What I'm saying to you is this right here. If the person that's up there singing, if they're professing to be saved, they're professing to be a certain thing. Now we are okay. Yeah, and but the lifestyle that they're living is not conducive to what they're professing, and they're doing all these earthly things, but they're up there bringing forth the gospel music to the people. What do you say to that? So you're saying, basically what you're telling me is that you're asking me if you got a double agent up there. Is what you're saying? I ain't want to go to that extreme, but yeah. Okay. Oh, help me, goes. What's that? First Peter. I think it's 5 and sweet Jesus. 5. Come on, Neil. 5 and 8. And it tells us, say, be a sober mind. And when it tells us to be a sober mind, it says, be watchful of your adversaries, meaning that you need to be also watching to see if these people are who they say they are. Now, what you said, my dear sister Cassandra said that she saw the.
What she said, she know
the looseness of. Right. She said she saw the looseness of the industry. Okay. And it said the and with the, oh my God, how it go? It said the adversary is the devil and it's prowling. And I heard Rico say something about how the guys would sing and the women be flocking like they new edition. So what you have to understand is that we also have a responsibility as well to understand what are we feeding ourselves and who that we are following. It's like being in the pulpit. That's why Jeremiah 23:1 says, "Woe unto the pastor that calls the sheep to scatter."
Absolutely.
So we can't put it on the gospel singer because at the end of the day their judgment is their judgment. If they confess to be a follower of Christ, that's on them. The only thing we have to do is Christians, and we have to remember this. We have to pray for those people. That's what we're supposed to do. I know that sound conventional, and it doesn't sound like something you want to do. You want to say, "Hey, they wrong. They need to sit down." And what the word says. So we can't have it both ways. We can't do one thing with the word and do another thing with the word. Either we in or we out. So we can't point and saying, "Well, they're not this and they're not that." For me, I give a prime example. I had a discussion with a young lady. She said she was talking about that she was upset that she had some Tyler Perry tickets, and she was telling me that he's supposed to be going back on tour, and I think in February, and that's how early she was getting her tickets. But she was saying with the pandemic coming around that she don't know if she's going to be able to attend the show. So I said, I got a question for you. I said, well, why do you like Tyler Perry? I just asked her a question. She said, because he's a good man, he this and yada yada this. She went through all this spiel about him. I says, well, if that's the case, I'm a little confused because I said, that's a man in a dress. She's like, yeah, but it's funny. I said, so tell me what's funny about a man in a dress?
Let me do this.
Wrap it up. We kind of select what we want to say is sinful and what not. So you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of condescending to me. Okay. Because she just said the same thing. She even said the same thing about she has sent me stuff about gospel singers who've been caught in homosexual acts to the point they've been on video.
Wow.
And but yet you embrace Tyler Perry. Not saying he's gay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to say what's so funny about a man in a dress.
Okay.
We got other issues out here as black men that we're dealing with, but you laughing at a man in a dress.
Okay. Hold on for a second. Stay right there, brother. I got to pull some more people into the conversation. Rico, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, what I'm saying. I agree with what Minister Neil's saying. I might veer off a little different with this point I'm about to make. But me on the outside looking in, I don't even feel comfortable when I hear these guys and these gospel groups saying things they say because I know they're in the church for the wrong reason. And we still got to remember the power of music. Even though we bring the religion into it, we still got to think about the spirituality first and just how powerful music is and what the message is. And so we'll listen to Kirk Franklin, and those are words that he came up with that motivate and change these people. And sometimes they get the lines blurred and they pay more attention to the person than the message because that's who motivated them. And so, I go back to that I think it may be a verse about following a false prophet or something in the Bible about following a false prophet. I would consider that a messenger, and so you don't want to listen to a false messenger because he might be that snake in the garden,
exactly,
just deceiving you and manipulating you. So now I get to this point. I want to make this point. We can say that the person should know better than to just listen, to look at the person, but just listen to the message. The person should just listen to the message. But at the same time, we realize that it's entertaining to them. They like the music.
That's what motivates them. It makes them feel good in the morning. They get up and they turn on this Kirk Franklin, man, and they just get their day started. Just like R. Kelly. So what if a Kirk Franklin did a R. Kelly? What if a Kirk Franklin got revealed to do a Jeffrey Epstein or was molesting children, and then it turned out to be Kirk Franklin doing the gospel, doing the same thing that they did? Would you want to still support his music? Would it be blasphemy to listen to somebody sing those words, but they were out here touching on children, keying on them? I mean, so, you know, really, you could dig real deep into this and start saying, well, you know what? I don't think I want to support people that singing this type of music, but they have deviant motives.
Good deal. Because
you know, so that I'm on the outside looking in. Yeah. I can't put my opinion and say this is right or wrong, or this is what somebody else is supposed to do, and I definitely can't quote from the Bible. But to me, just knowing the human side of us, it would be best to try to be as consistent as possible if we are following that path of righteousness of trying to attain going to heaven.
Cassandra, what's on your heart about this? Talk to me. Cassandra, you there? We'll come back to Cassandra. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Here. Okay, what's on your heart, sis?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, what's on your heart concerning this? What's on your heart right now?
You know, we can say you pay attention to what the person's doing or whatever, but as Christians, we're supposed to be examples of how Christ wants us to live. So if you are in the industry and as a gospel artist, there should be some type of accountability, especially in gospel. Now, if the other groups doing this, but if you're a Christian and you're singing gospel, there is an accountability that should be taking place.
Yes.
Because you are representing Christ. You're supposed to be representing what he stands for. And that's what these women after the show get tired of all that stuff. How is that? How is that an example of Christ? I'm just saying that everybody's perfect, and I'm not saying anybody's perfect. But if you do that, if you go into the wrong again, what type of representation is that of the body of Christ? So, you know, I'm not judging anybody. Do what the hell you want to do. And I mean it's like that. Do what you want to do. But it's wrong. And you can't say anything else according to the word of God. It's wrong.
Exactly. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I'm just listening to people, and I'm like, people act like this has not been written. Don't on the 1 Timothy, because in a minute I'm gonna be standing there with the lock, and I'm gonna put a lock on the door, because can't none of y'all get in there. Ain't none of y'all got a right to be in there. You understand? If you're looking at righteousness, because there are rules for deacons and preachers and everybody else. All of you come short. All of you. You can't be, you know, it says that if you just got saved yesterday, you ain't got no business preaching the next day.
Yeah.
Unless you become conceited. This thing is not set up for your pleasure. The gospel is about salvation. Now, all these shows y'all don't put together around worship, that's y'all business. That ain't God's business. That's what y'all like to do when y'all go. So if you think about it, there are people out here that have been singing secular music, millions of dollars, and they're better Christians than half y'all that sit up in there all day.
Say that.
So when you're looking to find fault with someone else, it's how you judge yourself. Because if I tell you you ain't got no business having but one wife, just to be a deacon now, how many of y'all can still be a deacon?
Or a bishop.
That's the word of God, brother. You better tell it. That's the word of God.
Yeah, exactly.
So it ain't nobody told you to go up there and tell somebody else what they can and cannot do. Because sinners should go to church.
Good deal.
Sinners, this is what the church is for sinners to come in and to improve themselves.
Amen.
No, Lord knows our love, she has a beautiful gift.
Whitney Houston sang a gospel song probably as good as Satan himself.
Okay.
And look what a child of God is now. But you can't take away the gift that she had for singing just because you don't like her.
Amen.
You're not God.
Now, who don't like Whitney?
You're
now,
not
who the world
God.
don't like Whitney? Who don't like
Great
Whitney?
is this mystery of godliness and how we exist in these walking temples, but yet we have these afflictions amongst us.
You better preach.
You walking temples. Go ahead, brother.
So do remember that the same sword you try to use to cut that brother's neck is the same sword that will cut your throat as well.
That's good. That's good.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. God, pray for him, doctor. Gotta pray for him. Gotta pray for him, doctor. That's what the word of God says. Gotta pray for him. Gotta pray for him.
Absolutely.
You got preachers that don't beat their wives up and was just preaching Sunday morning.
Yep. Drinking.
They're all over the place, in the clubs and the whorehouses and everywhere else.
Yep. At your house.
So who amongst you can judge a person like this?
Amen.
Good deal. Good deal. Now listen, y'all looking at the clock, and I want to say this right. Hold on. I'll come right back to you. I want to say this too. I said it at the beginning of the broadcast. I want to say it now at the end as well. This is going to be the last. This is going to be the last Way Out Wednesday for a couple of months. And the reason why is because I'm actually starting school, and I'll be in school on Wednesdays from 9 o'clock until 3. And so, do the math. I can't be at both places. So it'll be a rebroadcast. We'll still be doing the Morning Glow Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. But on Wednesdays, because of the school obligation that I have, it won't be no more live Way Out Wednesdays for a moment. There'll be rebroadcast on Wednesdays. Anybody got anything they want to say before we get out of here?
Just please go to 1 Timothy and read 1 Timothy to get a better awareness of what we're talking about, and remember that these are the latter days.
That's good. That's good. Kurt, you wanted to say something, brother?
Hey, Ryan. Congratulations first and foremost, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir.
Wish you the best of successes.
Thank you, man.
Need any help, call me.
Yes, sir.
But you know what this whole conversation reminded me of, because I don't want nobody to misconstrue what I said earlier. When I made the statement that God used the devil to bless the masses, right? I just want people to remember, Paul wasn't always Paul. I want people to remember what happened on the road to Damascus, which is considered the most dangerous. It is considered one, if not the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous roads in the world, and it's in the top 5. The road to Damascus is a very dangerous road. Please remember what happened on the road to Damascus, because Saul wasn't coming to pray for no Christians. He was coming to kill him.
Yes, absolutely.
So, you never know, like my overall premise is this: you never know what a sinner is praying. You never know what their testimony is. They might be sinning because guess what? They in their tunnel. I'm just saying, but brother, I wish you the best of luck. Anything you need from me,
yes, sir,
as far as writing papers and what have you, want to bounce something off me, man, feel free to give me a call.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate it. We're about to get out of here, man. It's 10:10. It's time for us to get out of here, man. I'm gonna miss y'all on Wednesdays though, man. Cause we are Wednesdays, boy. I tell you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, you're gonna do good. You're gonna knock it out the park, man. Look, I still say this. I agree with everybody. You don't want to judge those people. You want to pray for them. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, personally, if I know those intentions of those people doing that, it's hard for me to feel comfortable supporting them still. Now, I might not be judging them, but I am not supporting that behavior when they're letting me know that that's what their intentions are. So, it's hard. And if I had to book a show, I probably wouldn't book them if I was a preacher to come do my show if I knew they might draw a crowd, but they're going to be in some skirts. I might try to draw somebody else in and hire somebody that I knew was there with better intentions. You get what I'm saying? So now that's not judging them. That's just me not supporting that behavior that I already know that they come with.
Absolutely.
So they can change people. Don't get me wrong. You could take the message and also do it the way you're supposed to do. Listen to the message. Don't look at the person. If you listen to the message and separate it from the person, because the truth is always gonna stand out.
Exactly. That's good.
So just separate the message from the person and let them do what they gonna do.
Good deal. Minister Neil?
Yeah. I mean, what's up?
Anything on your heart before we get out of here?
Oh no, I'm in total agreement. Hey, we don't have to condone it, but we sure can't condemn them. So hey, continue to pray for these dear brothers and sisters out here. And I'm a big advocate of that because that's what the word of God tells us we need to do. And until then, hey, we, like I say, I didn't read nowhere where Jesus had a partner and nobody's name in there. So when we go to the judgment hall, it's going to be on between you and him.
Exactly.
So understand that. So we definitely got to continue to pray for those brothers and sisters out there.
Absolutely. Cassandra? I can't hear you, sis.
I'm good. Thank you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Toya with a T.
Yes, sir. Great show as usual, Raheem. Man, hey, that's what you got to do. Keep the dialogue going because these are conversations that need to be had. But yeah, I'm like everybody. You know why? 'Cause I'm that sinner. You know what I'm saying? I'm that one that did all that, and I still do some things. But I got to fight through that because I know God told me to go to school. I can't let the devil tell me, no, you can't go to school because you this and you that. No, I know what God told me to do, yo. You want me to sing? I'm working on doing everything I can. Putting cigarettes down. It's a daily battle, man. Not drinking, a daily battle, exercising, all of that. Because it's some things that me and God have come into agreement. And I'm not letting no human. It's already hard enough for me to fight these battles myself. I'm not letting no human interfere with me trying to get up and constantly do God's will. Because in doing that will, I know one day, one of these things going to drop off, man, and I'm going to be right where I need to be to get up there and do the right thing, man. So it's always a struggle and a fight. So we got to keep that in mind, man. Keep us lifted up. Don't just add more pressure to it and make us want to smoke more or drink more or do something more, man. Keep us lifted up and let us know we anointed. Don't do it, you know what I'm saying? And we praying to be delivered from that. And maybe that'll help, man. But good show.
Absolutely. Praise God. Good deal. Definitely want to thank everybody for joining us, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'm about to shut down the phone line because of what is going to happen. It's going to play that little elevator music, and I don't want to hear it. So y'all have a great day. God bless each and every one of you, and I will talk to you in the morning. Now we got that taken care of. Now we can, so that way we ain't got to worry about the that elevator music coming through. We don't want to have that. But listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group, and associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. As I said earlier, we won't be doing a live Way Out Wednesday for a couple of months because of the fact that I got some school obligations. I have to go and go sit in that classroom, and so we're definitely going to do that. And let me see, I'm making sure that everything is shut off here. Good deal. Got that taken care of. Now, again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group, and associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:14. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. You'll have a great day. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Love you. Take care of each other and be blessed.